Hello, and welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. This is a crafty puppy interrupted podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. I'm your human host, Gabby, and you can find me everywhere online as Gabagales and on my hand-dyed yarn at Once Upon a Corgi and onceuponacorgi.com. This is episode 115. We are coming to you from a very cold, windy, sunny South Central Connecticut. I don't know where we are. We're in state. Thank you so much to returning viewers for coming back, and hello and welcome all new viewers. Thank you so much for checking out our little corner of the internet. We have both pups right next to us today. I don't know if you can see Iron sniffing everything. I just gave them little chewy sticks, so they're looking for more. It's sort of a hodgepodge of things today. Not a ton has been done craft-wise, and I have to frog a lot of stuff, so let's get into events and then get into this. I have mucho coffee today because it's just one of those days where I want to sleep all the time, but gotta be productive. I will be having a trunk show with Tiff Nealon of Tiff Designs January 25th at the Twist Yarn Shop in Niantic, Connecticut. We are doing a kit collaboration for her Herringbone class and her Fireheart and Twist Hat Cowl. That didn't make sense. Fireheart Cowl and Twist Hat combination. So I will be there from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on January 25th, which is a Saturday. It'll definitely be a fun and packed day at Twist Yarn that day. We have the trunk show in the morning, and then Tiff has her class in the afternoon. So if you're in the area, please stop by and check it out. I haven't been in this yarn store yet, but I've met the owner a couple times, and she's delightful, and I'm very excited to go to the store. The only other events going on are Vogue Knitting Live is this weekend. It is January the 17th. As I record this, I'm not going to Vogue this year. I did a Business Untangled on Wednesday with Indie Untangled, and that was super informative and very helpful business-wise, so I decided to do that instead of Vogue, and I will be attending Knit City in Montreal in March. So excited. A woman in my knit group is a travel agent, so she has put together the whole trip for us: bus, hotel, breakfast, dinners, and coordinating little things to do throughout that weekend. So she is organizing that. I think there are a few spots left. We're leaving out of Fairfield, Connecticut. So if you were interested in that trip, let me know and I will get you in touch with her. So we're going to Montreal this year and I'm so excited. We're not vending, we're just attending, and I'm ready for a couple days of just knitting Canadian yarns. I can't wait. I haven't looked at the vendor list yet. I'm just going to let myself be surprised and try not to spend all of the monies. Which I might, because it'll be after the wedding, so I want to come home with so much Canadian yarn. Audrey's giving me this stink eye right now. I do. I want Canadian yarns. I don't have any. I don't think I have any Canadian yarn. No, I don't think I do. Not even on D-Stash. Yeah, we gotta change that. So those are the events in the next couple of months that are yarn related. So let's get into the knitting. I do have a giveaway going on in the Ravelry group, so check that out. That is going on until the end of the year, and that is for end of the month. That is for a sweater and a hat pattern by Yarnia Designs. So definitely check that out. Okay, now for reals, the knitting. We'll start off with what I am wearing. I am wearing my Advent Shady Side pullover. This design is by Samantha Guerin Designs. I love it so much. It is in my A Court of Thorns and Roses Advent calendar. I have finally blocked it and did mattress stitched up the seams. When I took the FO photo, I realized I didn't do that, and I also didn't block it, so I finally blocked it, and it's even better than ever. I love this sweater so much. This is definitely like a go-to sweater pattern for me. It's top-down raglan increases, and the way she has it in the pattern is fingering weight throughout the whole thing, and then you hold mohair double with some stuff. Perfect. I love it, and I need 100 of them. And that's all the knitwear I'm wearing. I'm even wearing pants today, which is very rare, but I didn't feel like digging out any skirts. FOs. I have 2 of them. I have completed a checklist. I have Audrey. Audrey has brought you R2-D2, her little egg. There used to be a picture of R2-D2 on this. Please don't run, there's needles. FO number 1 is the Stag Leap Cowl, also by Samantha Guerin Designs. See if I can get the cables in the middle. It is covered in all of the dog hair because I blocked it on my floor. This is out of Hudson and West in their Forge base. I don't remember the colorway name. I lost my tag. It gone. This is the small size of the cowl. I knit on US 7s, I think. That could be a lie. Cat paws on here. I love this pattern. I 100% am going to knit myself one. This is a gift for my photographer for the wedding. I wanted to knit her something that was dark muted tones that she could wear for winter shoots because she is just a delight. So this is for her. I really enjoyed this pattern. It's cabley, it's squishy, it wears super well. I'm going to try and put it on without getting lipstick all over it. Oh, I love it. She also has a larger size that I think you can just do one wraparound. I'm not totally sure. Oh, I love it so much. It's so squishy. It's like the perfect amount of drape. Not too far away from your neck. Oh, I love it. So this is done. It is blocked and it is now going to go into a small box to protect it from dog hair. She also has a dog and she loves ours, so I don't think she'll be that mad if there's a little bit of dog hair on there, but. So this is done and blocked, and I would highly recommend this pattern. I loved knitting it. I had to rip it out a couple times because I kept messing up the cables, which was totally my fault, but the yarn held up really well. The pattern was super easy to follow. It's got charts and written directions. Highly recommend. So good. I definitely want a sweater's quantity of this yarn too. Do you want to smell? Do you want to smell? Are you so tired, Iron? You're snuggling on my knits? Yeah. Again, that is the Stag Leap cowl by Samantha Guerin Designs. So good. So nice. I hope this is in focus for you. So that is gift number 1, done from the last podcast. Number 2, I have finished my second Calan My Cowl. This is by Kristin of Villenvine Yarns. She designed this cowl using my yarns, which was stunning. I love it so much, and it was such a good knit that I knit it a second time, and I will probably knit it a third time. This is the perfect gift knit cowl. I did make some changes to the pattern. I took out, I believe, 6 to 8 repeats to make it a much more narrow type of cowl. I did the same amount of rows, so it's still the same length. And I love how this fits. I love mine as well, but this, I think this is perfect. This is for our officiant who is a preschool teacher or like preschool after school teacher. I'm not totally sure what her actual title is, but she works with small children at the YMCA. So I thought this would be perfect for her so she could wear it inside if it's cold, but it's not down and sort of in the way when she has to do things. Oh, and I love it so much. I will be sad to see this go, but I know she will love it. And this is out of, sorry, mohair, Stress Yarns. The main color is her Killjoy colorway on her favorite sock base. It is my only skein of Stress Knit yarns, and I loved working with it. I love the way the colors came out with this stunning just mermaid unicorn color. It's perfect. I held it double with my hand-dyed yarn, field mice and flower crowns on my fig lace base. I don't think I have the cakes at the ready. I think they're in the other room. Yeah, and that just sort of muted it out a little bit. I love it. I do have, I think I have enough left over of this yarn for shorty socks, but she's I mean, Stacy is an amazing dyer, and she's been on my list for more colors anyway, but now I really want to get more of her yarn. And I use these, I hope you can see this. If not, I'll try and put a shot in. These muted turquoise teal beads, just to give it that little pop of extra. Oh, such a good pattern. Such good yarn. I love it. And officially, I have moved out of Cowl City. I am done. I have knit. Can I count off the top of my head? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 4 or 5 cowls in like the past 2 months. I feel like I'm missing a cowl. Guys, Audrey, you have the runniest of noses. I don't care. I'm so tired. Can I please have another Tuesday? Yes, so that ends my career as city councilor of Cowl City. And I am fine with it. I need to move on. I really want to knit sweaters, but I have some more gift knitting I need to finish. Moving on to works in progress. Don't know. I think I just showed you the cuff. So I'm still working on my Clark socks by Jacelyn Salem, and this is out of my hand-dyed yarn in the Mirkwood colorway on my iron tweed base. I'm knitting these for Jake for the wedding, and I am 2.5 repeats away from finishing the leg of his second sock. These have been, this one has not been flying by, but when I knit on it, it does go by quite quickly. Jake has been home at weird hours, so I haven't been able to work on them. I hope you could hear that very audible puppy sigh. I'm knitting this on US 1 2.25 millimeter Addy flexi flips, and I really enjoy them. I really like them for bigger socks. I haven't knit 64 stitch socks on them yet, but I enjoy them a lot for patterned things because you're not trying to deal with a bunch of hubbubaloo, that's not a word, with DPNs with the cable, and sometimes the cable on Magic Loop just gets in the way for me. So these were super good for pattern socks. Highly recommend. They are an investment, I will say that. So if you do want to get them and you want to make sure you get your money's worth, I would just say get a size that you use all the time. I do eventually want to get a set for sleeves for sweaters. I just haven't decided on the size yet. I think I have to go through and like average out my sweater needle sizes. Enough of that. So here they are. I am using my Illyrian Wing Progress Keeper on this bad boy. I think I showed you the first sock. I finished the first sock. I don't know if that happened before. I did a mini heel flap and gusset and German short row heel by Mina Phillip. I find that short row heel fits him really well. I do want to try Becky Sorensen's new depths heel for it. I've tried it for my socks and they fit really well, so I'm going to try them for his, I think on his next pair of socks. And I did a regular wedge toe because I felt like it. Yeah, so we have one done. We're almost done with the leg of the second one. And we are at 57 days and counting, 56 days and counting. So I think we're gonna make it. I have so much mohair on my nose. I'm so sorry. And this is still in my tiny Corgi Butts bag. Always. Last wedding knits, I have worked on my cardigan a little bit, but it was brought to my attention that I went backwards on all of my maths, so my cardigan's going to be bigger than I anticipated, so I have to rip it out and start over. Luckily, I'm not that far into it. I probably have 1.5 inches of knitting, and it's still not that many stitches, so I'm going to frog it, go down a needle size, and recast it on. I might do a gauge swatch, probably won't. No, I'm not gonna do it. So when this comes out as a disaster and I have to rip this out and knit it in a week, please remind me of this moment. I'm probably not gonna do a gauge swatch again because I just don't want to. I hate them, I don't like doing them, I know I should, I know it's helpful, it's not my style. You're so cute. So that is my goal for this afternoon. I'm going to edit this podcast and then sit down and rip that out and restart it. So we're not going to bring it out right now, even though it's stunning. I just don't want to look at it. But I did cast on a new project. I cast this on Wednesday to go into the city because the Business Untangled was in New York, so I took the train in. I have cast on, finally, the Twist Hat by Tiff Nealon, and this is to pair with the Fireheart cowl that she designed in my yarns. And I love it so much. It has this herringbone, instead of the ribbing, it's this herringbone panel, and then you've got a little bit of a color work designed through the body of the hat. It doesn't look like much right now because I'm only a couple rows in. I have to tank back this row because I think I missed a couple of the slip stitches, I think, because I was talking and tired. So this is out of my Cecil base, which is 100% BFL Aran weight, and I'm using the colors, I hope I'm holding this up high enough, Fireheart as the contrast color and Ravishing as the main body. I love these two together. I'm excited to get into the color work section more and really see that up here. I love it so much. It does seem a little bit big. It's gonna be a disaster. But it is a hat, so I figure if it doesn't fit me, I can either sew elastic in it or give it to Jake. It being big is totally my fault. I think I cast on 5 extra stitches. Cast it on the train. I wasn't paying attention properly, so it's totally my bad. But it's also a hat, so I figure after the trunk show, if it really doesn't fit, I can rip it out and just re-knit it. It's such a quick knit. This was like one train ride worth of knitting, and I love her patterns. Her herringbone usage is everything I wanted it to be. I forgot how much I love herringbone stitch. So there we are. I am using a size 9 Knit Pro Zings. I was using size 13 for the brim because herringbone is a very tight stitch. And I knit those on Looka needles that I borrowed from my friend, so I don't have them here to show you, but they're needles. Yeah. So this is the newest cast on. I'm going to focus on this because I do want it done for the trunk show. Yes, sleepyhead. But it is a hat, so it should be a fairly quick knit. So I think tonight, because Fridays are my very ambitious knitting days, after I redo everything for my cardigan, I will work on this for probably a little bit, and then if I do knitting tomorrow, if I go to knit group tomorrow, I'll definitely bring this. So those are my knitting projects. That's what I've been working on knitting wise. I did do some embroidery. We brought back Old Lady Night, and I have started working on tiny little flowers. Look at how cute these are. I am using tutorials from cutesycrafts.com. She has YouTube videos and patterns and just the cutest little things. There is a couple embroidery patterns I want to get on Etsy, but I want to work on the stitches more before I buy the pattern. So I have done, it's not going to show. I might have to do a close-up of this, but I've done little French knots, and I did, I forgot what those are called. Those are the G stitch. I don't know. I've worked on my satin stitching. This is supposed to be a tiny succulent, but I didn't want to change thread, so it looks like a green radish. I've worked on my herringbone leaf stitch. I've mastered the woven wheel, which is these little roses. That's basically the best one I'm at. And yeah, so now I'm just embroidering tiny flowers everywhere. I really want to do, they're patterns of like these little bouquets. I really want to do that. I want to do so many of those. So yeah, this is what I've been working on embroidery-wise. There's also one of a whale on like, it's gotta be like tulle or something, so it looks like it's just floating in the embroidery hoop. But I would like to get better at some things before I start embroidering whales. I feel like that's a little step above my skill level. I am just using DMC floss I got at Joann's and or Michael's, and I got this embroidery linen on Etsy. I just searched embroidery linen. I don't remember the shop name, but if I find it, I will put it in the show notes. So yeah, just futzing around with tiny things. I kind of want to embroider tiny vegetables because this sort of looks like a radish. So I kind of just want to start like a little vegetable embroidery thing. That would be adorable. I don't know what I would do with it, but it'd be the cutest thing in the world. So that's my tiny embroidering. Finally, my dreams of embroidering tiny flowers are coming true. So that's sewing. Nope, we have to get into sewing. We do have sewing. I have sewing. This is obviously the most important detail of a wedding, which is your Game of Thrones themed cloaks. I'm going to have to put a photo in here because this is so large, it's gonna look like nothing when I show it on the camera. I have finished the body of Jake's cloak. I am halfway through mine. So abstract, that's the wrong side, this is the right side. Here is Jake's cloak. Doesn't it look so good? It's so nice. It's such a good cloak shape. I'm so good at this. I will insert photos. So I am doing this out of I'm guessing there's a spandex blend in here. It is a little bit stretchy, thick material. One side is brushed. It is a dark brown. I got it at Affordable Fabrics, and they don't always have the content on the bolt, which is fine. $2.99 a yard. I'm here for the bargains. So I purchased 8 yards of this, and we did, yeah, a like triangle piecing together of the cloaks. I was hoping to do half circles, but the way that we had to cut them out. 8 yards wasn't enough, and I wasn't willing to use more than 8 yards for 2 people's cloaks. That's just ridiculous. There just would have been too much wasted cloak space. So we figured it out. We cut them out. They are a little bit less than a half circle, which is totally fine. No one's going to judge us on that. And if you do, you can't come to the wedding. / why are you judging us on our cloaks? Anyway, so I have gone through and I flat felled seamed all of the seams. So that's the right side. This is the wrong side. And I just wanted to make sure we had a super clean edge since, you know, these are going to get not a lot of use. Obviously, we don't wear cloaks that often, but I would like these to last a long time. And I find something that's going to be photographed that much the day of, I would like the neatest seams possible. And now I'm obsessed with flat felled seams. So quick run through. You sew your fabric together, right sides together as you normally would. I iron them flat, and then the seam closest to the back, you trim to about an eighth of an inch, 1/4 of an inch maybe. I just trimmed it until it was thinner than the other side, and then I iron everything, let's just say to the left. So I ironed it all to the left, and then I fold over the other side, the longer side, and tuck it in and then pin it down. So then the longer side is totally encasing the shorter side, and then sew it down. So you do have a visible seam on the outside, but with such dark fabric, it really doesn't matter. You could go through and whip stitch it by hand. I thought about it for these, but then I realized these are cloaks. No one's going to look that closely at them, and honestly, it doesn't even matter. So I have done that for Jake's. It does take a little bit longer than just seaming and serging or zigzag stitching, but I really love the effect of it, and I want to try and incorporate it more into my makes. I think seams are my weak point. Finishing is my weak point with making basically anything. Blocking, weaving in ends, finishing edges. It's where I get lazy, so I would like to be better at that. So I've done that with Jake's whole cloak. Here it is. Ugh. I am doing that on my cloak, and we went out, sorry I can move all my other things, and got this faux fur from Joann's to make our mantles. So my plan with this is to get the outline of an IKEA rug basically and cut it out, and then I'm going to hand stitch it to the top shoulders of the cloak. So the last thing, that's going to be super easy. It is polyester, so I'm not totally thrilled with all the tiny polyester things that are going to fall out of it, but my plan of finding like a vintage fur coat and using that was not panning out. And this is the dog's favorite thing to lay on. If it's out, they're sleeping on it, which is fine because it's fur anyway. So it doesn't matter if their hair's in it. So this is the mantle part of the cloaks. And now I just need to find the leather straps. I think I figured out how to like secure the cloaks on. I just now need to get the hardware and the leather bits and sew them on. I would like those done by February. I would like these done by the end of February. So that, ooh, try and get this back in the, I'm keeping these in a Panera catering bag that my dad gave me. Those are my in progress, sewing things. I do have plans for sewing things because I did some work. So I have shown these a lot. This is a Disney princess fabric I got at Joann's. It was a baby pink and has these beautiful watercolor illustrations of Disney princesses. Love it. They're my favorite. It's great. But I don't wear baby pink. So I got some Rit dyes from Joann's and used about half a bottle. This is probably 2 yards worth of fabric, and dyed it in the washing machine, and now I think we're good. I really like it. It's still a little bit pink, but it is much more muted, and I'm really glad that whatever they used to dye their fabric, it didn't really mess with the watercolor portraits themselves. So my plan with this is to make, hold on, I have to look it up, Hawthorne by Colette Patterns. I will put a picture in here. It is a shirt style dress. You can do 3/4 sleeves or sleeveless. I'm going to do sleeveless. And my hope is to get this done for when we go to Disney. So then I have a Disney dress to wear to Disney because I'm an adult and I can. So adding this to my long list of things I would like to do before the wedding, because we are now leaving the day after the wedding for Disney. I was hoping we'd leave on Sunday, but it was cheaper to fly out Saturday night, oddly enough. So this is goal number 1. Just add it onto that to-do list. Why sleep when I can sew dresses? I do have some sewing goals. I would like to sew an Agnes top. Another Agnes top out of velvet. I would like to match it with this fabric, which is from when we cleaned out my grandmother's basement, and I want to make, I think it's called the fantail skirt. It's a modern day Edwardian walking skirt out of this. I think that would be so cool. I love it. I don't know what I'm gonna, I want this, in my head, I'm envisioning this outfit for the rehearsal dinner. So hopefully I get it done in time. I just think that I have, like black velvet boot heels, a tartan Edwardian skirt, and a black velvet v-neck with puff sleeves. Bring it on. It's all I want to wear. I don't care if it probably, yeah, whatever. It's green. I don't care if it matches. That's never bothered me before. I just want a plaid Edwardian walking skirt. I was hoping I would have enough fabric left after the robe bluet of the other tartan to do it, which is like a wool suiting, I think. It is a little bit thicker than this, but I don't think I will have enough, which is fine because I found this bad boy. I might do a shirt out of this too. It's just so delightful. So that is all the current sewings, all my future sewings. I'm going to get this robe bluet done, whether it kills me or not. I have taken the pattern out. I've traced out my size. Can you please stop licking your paws on my cardigan bag? Erin, please. Thank you. So the pattern is ready to go. I just have to sit down and cut it out. I might have a fabric cutting day today. Again, I'm very productive on Fridays. I think that is it for the makings. That's everything I'm working on. I haven't bought anything. We're back on the spending freeze. And my crafting goals are to finish Tiff's hat, finish the cloaks, at least get everything sewn together and maybe hemmed, and get the fur cut out. Because I'm probably going to have to sew no, I can sew the leather on after I sew the fur on. I'm going to sew the fur on totally. So yeah, get all those done, and to finish Jake's socks, hopefully. He's closing one eye, you're so tired. So those are my crafting goals. We'll see what happens. If I can get past the heel on Jake's socks, I'll take that. Alright, the rest of this is a shop update and beyond crafting. If you are not here for either of those, thank you so much for watching, and if you are, let us continue on. So we are having a shop update tomorrow, January 18th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at Once Upon a Corgi. I hope you guys can make it, and it is fig lace heavy. So much fig lace. So we have, going in, Never Trust a Prince, Hello Witchling, I believe these are in the shop already, Juniper, Nightmares Plus 10, did I only grab one? I only grabbed one. Hearth, Narnia, Ravishing, and I believe Warm and Cozy is in the shop already as well. So, not a super big update, but I had a bunch of fig lace on the shelf in like the stock area, and it was calling out to me, so I dyed it all up, and I just wanted moody tonals, so that is what I have done. So those are going up into the shop at 10 a.m. tomorrow, January 18th. So if you can make it, thank you so much for stopping by and supporting the shop. And I have closed the pre-orders for A Court of Thorns and Roses Book 1 from the Advent calendar, so I'm going to start dyeing those up at the beginning of February. I'm in the middle of dyeing for the trunk show, so everything's backed up a little bit. But those should be out within 3 weeks of the closing date. I'm super excited to dye those. You guys ordered a bunch of good pairings, and I cannot wait to see what I'm going to guess is a lot of Calan my cowls and a lot of I've been looking for you, and I'm so excited. So that is shop update news. Again, thank you so much for supporting the shop and supporting my yarn. That was a good transition. Beyond crafting. This is everything I've been up to besides crafting, which has not been a lot. It has been very crafting and wedding heavy. I'm still on Empire Storms. I think I read like 2 chapters. I'm getting to the part that I know it's gonna hurt me and I don't want to read it because it's gonna hurt and I'm not ready for the pain, but I really want to read it because I really want to finish the series, because I really want to read Shadow and Bone before Crescent City comes out in 47 days. I'm so excited. So yeah, it's been a lot of wedding prep. I think we were done with the big things. Now it's just very small, like, do we want a table runner? Should we put something on the wall behind us? Like dumb stuff like that, which is good. So now it's just organizing everything and setting up all the last minute meetings. Jake is going to conference, so while he is away for a couple days, we are going to take out the veil and finish that. Mom's going to bring the dress down here so we can fluff it out to its fullest potential and get some really accurate measurements for the veil. I haven't worked on the veil with the dress yet. I've done them both separately, so my measurements have been a little bit off. So that's going to be really good to get that done, finished. And yeah, it's just been a lot of planning things. Definitely planning the Montreal trip and sitting down and going through the rest of the year. Yeah, that's basically it. I haven't been up to a lot. It's not going to be a lot of interesting things between now and the wedding besides, hi, wedding things. It's happening. Send help. Yep. Is that it, pups? That's it? That's it. Okay, with that, thank you so much for watching. If you are going to Vogue this weekend, I really hope you enjoy it. It's such a good show, and so many good dyers are going this year, so squish all of the yarn for me. I know we're wrapping up. You need to bring me a tennis ball if you want to be on the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the shop, supporting the podcast, and we will see you all next week.